Hi, today I'm going to go over using Advanced Skeleton to rig your character. Advanced Skeleton is a plugin to Maya that is available on the Maya website if you don't have it already. So you can just go on and to Autodesk and download it, and then it will show up here, and you can click on the tab and have access. So what you first need is a character with clean geometry. Here's my character. She's got her geometry, and this is just T-posed and ready to be rigged. So with this file, with the geo file, I'm going to first clean the character. So you're going to open up number 5 here on Advanced Skeleton, and you're going to select all your geometry, and you're going to clean. Even though I have, I think actually it'll work. I have a top level geo, so let's just click clean here. And it worked. So just to note, just so if you missed that, you need a top group called geo in order for the clean to work. And I already had it, but you can click create if you do not. And it's, if you look down here, it says cleaning finished. So she's all clean and ready to be checked for symmetry. So I'm going to select her again and then click model check. Check. And if we look down below, it says model is symmetrical. If your model is not symmetrical, you'll get an error message, and in which case it'll show you the vertices that aren't symmetrical, and you will have to fix it. To fix that, I probably would just delete half of my geometry, and click face, and then delete half of it, and then mirror it over, and then try it again once it's mirrored. That just helps with a clean rig, having it be symmetrical. After that, I'm just going to smooth it out again. So, oh goodness, I've got face select, so I go back to object, 3, and then 6 to see the textures. Okay, so this is going to be my geo file. So I'm actually just going to save this scene. And I'm going to create a new scene to build the rig on. I want to keep this geo separate just so I have it in case I need it. And if I need to make any really minor changes like smoothing out part of the surface or changing the UVs, I can do that, and it'll reflect into the rigged file without like losing anything. You can't make any changes to the geometry itself. Like I can't add an edge loop once I have it rigged and referenced, but you can do some small things. So it's good to have geometry on its own scene here. So I'm just saving it again, and I'm going to make a new scene. Okay, so after I finish the cleaning up the geometry, I open a new scene, file, new scene. And since I'm in the same project and the project is set, it'll be all within the same folder. So I can just create the reference. I'm going to want to reference in this one was the one I was just working on. And that gives us our geometry. 6, and pulls in all the textures. And now we can start building the skeleton. Okay. So I'm going to go into the front view to 6, and I'm going to look back at my Advanced Skeleton menu all the way down to body, fit, biped. There's a lot of different options. You can build all sorts of skeletons with Advanced Skeleton. We're going for biped because that's a humanoid character. Import, and you'll see that the skeleton has been brought in down at the bottom. So now if we scale it up, oopsie daisy, I'm clicking the wrong thing. Scale it up to about where it should be, about her size, give or take. Every character is going to be different, so it's not going to match up exactly, but okay, let me just make sure I scaled it okay. You're going to do shading X-ray joints to see the joints, and I flattened them again. If I'm looking at it and these joints are weirdly flattened, so I just undid everything. I want to scale it up using this. There we go. Scale it up with that yellow. I was just clicking one of the scale. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. I knew something was off. Pull it out. And that should be close enough for now. So back in our 360 view, we can take a look at how things are matching. I'm going to need to move the whole thing back a bit. If you select the root, which is in the middle, you can get all of the bones at once. I'm going to view it from the side. Shading X-ray joints. And okay, so it's matching up a little. If I just select the knee joint, I can move it back, which is good because you want this at an angle so it knows how to bend. If I click D, I can move the joint up a bit. Move it forward a little. And D will just move that one joint. It's not going to move all the subjoints and bones. So that's just a handy little trick. The foot is aligned not so bad. I'm going to move the heel back just so it's a little bit beyond the heel. I'm going to pull the toes up to their, the frontish where they would be. Back to the 360. Just want to see it from above a little. Big toe, pinky. Her pinky, move that up. Her big toe, move that up. And I'm going to move the whole foot to match. I see that it's not covering her actual foot here. So this is just a lot of tweaking and moving things to sort of where they should go. It's not overly exciting, but it's kind of important. Feel free to fast forward if you know how to match this stuff up yourself, or if you've pretty much got it. Okay, one thing that I want to do here is I keep selecting the geometry, which I don't like doing that. So I'm going to put that on a layer and make it just a reference where I can't select it. So I click this plus button, will it make a layer? I'm going to double click it, name it girl, save, and then I need to select all my geometry that's going to go on that layer. So I'm just like selecting all of her, right clicking, add selected objects, and then if I change this little square to R, I can't select her anymore. So now I can move around the joints without constantly selecting the geometry. Okay. I'm going to look at her from above now. Move things into place. Get that hand into place. We need X-ray joints on. Okay. Lots of selecting D and then unselecting D. And you'll notice that only half the skeleton needs to be built because Advanced Skeleton mirrors the skeleton after you make it, so that it's the same on both sides. That's why having a symmetrical model is really simple and works so well. These are the eyes, so they're going to match up with the eye itself, the top of the head. This is the jaw and the bottom of the jaw. Oop. And you could see what things are if you select them. They'll show up here. Scapula. That's the scapula. I think we could, I don't know exactly where her scapula would be, thinking about it. I think it'd be out just a little. So her shoulder's about there. I'm actually going to move it in a little. This is just a lot of tweaking. Sometimes I want D selected. Sometimes I want to move everything, like in that case. Okay, looking good except for the eyes and the hands. The hands are probably the most painstaking part, so I might fast forward through this part a little, but it's just matching up the fingers and the joints to where they should go on the hand itself. Okay, so I have pretty much lined things up. I could probably spend more time on this, but I think this will do for now. You want the last little joint to go beyond the fingertip, so that's how that should be. The last thing I need for this body is to line up these little eye pieces, which I don't think you actually need if you're going to rig the face, but just in case you want to see this part. I'm going to unreference the girl so I can click the eye geo, and I'm going to match. I'm going to create a locator and match the back of the eye and the front of the eye with two different locators so that I have I can lock the joints exactly to the position of the front and back of the eye. So this is a little tricky. I mean, it's not really too tricky, but it seems like it's tricky. Okay, so the back of the eye is over here. I'm going to select the last vertex here, and I'm going to select back eye locator, and then I'm going to match all transformations. Oh, not like that. See, everybody. Let me think. I just did this. Okay, so I remember now. It's you select the vertex itself and the object, and it's a constraint. So you go to rigging, constrain, and it's the point on poly constraint. If you click that, constrain, point on poly constraint. That's why. The locator matches up to the point on poly. So that will tie the one locator to the back of the eye, and now we need to tie the other one to the front of the eye. So vertice, we're going to get the front of the eye. We're going to create another locator. So create locator. I'm going to call it front eye. Vertex, select front eye, constrain point on poly. There we go. So now they both are exactly at the front and back of the eye. And now we can match the locations. I'm just going to quickly hide this part of the geometry so I can see. No. If I select the joint and then the locator, window, modify, I'm going to match translation. That moves the joint to the locator. Now I'm selecting just the front joint, selecting the front locator, modify, match translation. Now this joint is exactly around the eye itself from front to back. Perfect match. That's just a fun little thing. Now I'm going to unhide the face, and if we look at everything, should be good to go. I'm wondering if there's any little changes. I think I'm just going to move her knee up a touch, and are her hips in the right spot? Maybe move them up. Nope. That's fine. Okay, so good. I'm going to save this. Oh, not save as, just... Oh, I didn't save it yet, so I'm going to save as. I'm going to... It should be girl pre-rig. And now I'm going to build that rig. So if you go to build advanced skeleton, it will create the advanced skeleton itself. Now I'm going to save this separate, save scene as build post rig, just in case I need to change anything. On the pre-rig, I can go back to that scene. And what I'm going to do now is bind the body geometry to the rig itself. So if I select the geometry, and then you need to select the bones after. You go to rigging, skin. We're going to go to the option box for bind skin. I found that sometimes I need to reset it to get it to work, so I did. And I want my max influences to be 3. 5 is just too much for me. Apply and close, and that should bind the skin to the rig itself. So if we just test the rig, select part of it and move it, whoa, we'll see that some interesting stuff is going on. She's definitely bound. I think her knees are a little awkward. So what I'm going to do is adjust them before I bind anything. So I'm going to go back and just fix that up. Okay, so I just moved the knee back and forth a little and then rebuilt my advanced skeleton. And that gave me straighter knees. They're going straight. And now I'm just going to rebind everything. Give her a test. Much better. As you can see now, she's like bending a little bit more normal. I'm just going to smooth her out. But there is some weird deformation here. And I'll show you how to fix that. We just select the geometry again. All of it. So back to all of it. And then harden weights over here. Down, if you go down to body fit, deform delta mush. We're going to look at delta mush. We're going to harden the weights. That takes a little bit to run. And it's going on all the geometry. We just wait for it. And now that it's done, we apply delta mush. And then it'll give you the notification, delta mush applied. If you click on any of the geometry, you'll see that delta mush is added onto the shapes inputs, so you'll know it's there. And now we can give her a bend again and see. And I think you can tell right away the deformation is way more natural. It's such a great little handy tool. So there you have it. That's just how you rig the body. Some really cool, clean lines. Another thing you can, this is the FK rig. Advanced Skeleton is great because you can switch between FK and IK. So if you see these little plus signs back here, that's the switch. If you select the plus sign in the channel box, you'll see FK IK blend. If I want it to be IK, I just enter in 10 and it'll switch to an IK rig, so you can move your hand around. That's really good for like picking up objects and constraining the hand to things. So yeah, it's great. It's a great rig, really. And that is the body. And now I'll move on to the face. Let's get going. Okay, so we have our girl. I'm going to save this. And then I'm going to create a new one even. Save scene as. I'm going to call it pre-face. And I'm just going to like close these up so they don't distract me. And now we're in the face section. So what I need right away is to get a side profile view for the beginning of the face. And I found it helpful to just isolate the face itself for this one part. You're going to enter in each one of these parts of the face. And if you don't know what they're asking for, you click the question mark sign and it'll give you a prompt which shows exactly what they mean. So here they want us to select the faces similar to this with the lasso tool, so I'm going to switch to face, grab that lasso, and I'll try to match what they showed me as good as I can. And I think that's good enough. Actually, I can be sort of picky. Okay, that's fine. And then select mask, and it'll upload that into the fill-in box there. Now face, we need to take a look. It's just the geometry that is the face itself, so I'm not going to isolate it anymore, even though I could select it with it isolated, but I'm selecting the whole face, and this one even includes the arms. It's no big deal, just needs whatever the face is on. All head means every object that could possibly be on the head. The eyebrows, this guy has a hat, the eyeballs, anything. So for her, she's got a lot of stuff. Oh, back to, this is the view that helps with face. She's got the face geometry, the hair, the headband. She's got little earrings. She's got eyebrows, eyelashes, eyeballs, and she's got a tongue and teeth and top teeth and bottom teeth. So I'm going to select okay, all of it is good. Oh, and a hair tie. Nope. There. Okay, so that's all of it. All head. Now I need to get the eyes in. So that's pretty much self-explanatory. The right eye is this one. The left eye is this one. Upper teeth, I've got that all labeled in here. I call them top teeth. I got bottom teeth here. Tongue is in here. Eyebrows. Eyelashes. If you don't have them, skip them. It's no big deal. So if she didn't have eyelashes, I could just not fill that in. Just like this. Extras, I don't really have anything extra. So we're good. I don't need to do a model check. She was symmetrical. She's good. Now we head down to fit. Eyeball. So I'm going to look at her from straight on for this part. And I'm doing everything that's on her right side or my left. But if you needed a refresher, they just give you, they show you. So select her eyeball. This is going to replace the eyes from the body setup. The one where I set up those locators. Don't even need them, but it's helpful. It's helpful to try that out anyway. It replaces the eyeball. Eyelid outer. Okay, what do they mean? We have to select the edge loop that is about there on the model. So hers would be this one. eyelid outer, and it just takes a moment to create the loop. Her next one is eyelid inner, eyelid main. It would be, oh goodness, that's OBS. It would be this around the eye. So for me, I think, and this is like every model is so different that they're not going to be an exact match to the examples you see. You're going to have to use your best judgment and kind of just do trial and error. And then the next one is the inside one. You can open it up to see yourself, but eyelid inner for me would be that one. And once you select that, it'll give you like a red zone, which means that it's all selected and good. And now we need the lips. Lip outer, kind of what it seems like it would be. Edge, but it has to be an edge loop. This is why edge loops are so important. And geometry is so important for advanced skeleton. The edge, the lip main is kind of similar to the eye main in that it's like the one surrounding the outline of it, I guess. And then inner is actually within. So this one is tricky. I have to go into her mouth to get it. I forget if I select this one or the other one. Ew. I think I liked this one for this purpose. And once you select it, it takes a moment and then it'll make it red so you know it's all good. Now it's the eyebrows. Brow inner is this inner one. You just select a vertex. Brow outer is kind of the opposite one here. Brow center is not the center of the brow. It's in the center of the forehead. So just to show you what I mean, it's that. So for this one, it's that one. Forehead's really tricky. I might not get it on my first try, but we can give it a go. It's the area, and I'll pull up the example, but it's about that. Yes. Okay. So you create like a 3-point triangle, top, middle, between the eyes, and the temple, and that will give you this green space, and you'll know that you have the forehead selected. Jaw pivot is this upper kind of part of the jaw area. You're going to select vertice again. I think it would be there for her. Jaw corner is like the lower part of the jaw. I think here is good. Jaw itself is this tip of the jaw. Oh, I always do that. That's about where her jaw would go. And you'll get a message saying this will replace the jaw from the body setup. That's okay. And now we need her throat. For her, I liked it to be right here. Cheek. When it comes to the cheek, I like to pull it up because I kind of forget where's a good spot for the cheek. It's more on the side than I would have guessed. I think for her, maybe here or maybe here. No, here. Or here. Trial and error. I think they're fine. Cheekbone. It's a little bit up. I want to do her, give her higher cheekbones there, maybe. There. Cheek razor is like more centered and up at the, maybe the cheekbone should go to the side more. So this is easy to change. I'm going to put the cheek razor there, and then I'm going to uncheck cheekbone, delete cheekbone. And then after I do that, I can select a different vertex, click cheekbone again, and it'll replace that area. So it's good to know. Smile bulge. I'm like, what is a smile bulge? It's this little spot above your lip area that creates a little bulge. Frown bulge is like the opposite, but same. I'll try it there. Nose, you want the tip of the nose. The tippy tip. Nose under is the tippy tip under part. Everything is, some of these are really obvious. Some of them are less obvious. Nose corner. I think there. I don't need the extra nose control, so I'm skipping them. But I do have a tongue, so I'm going to select my tongue. And this is the part where we build. But first, I save this as my pre-face build, just in case I need to go back and change things. You can't really change them after you build. So I keep this. I don't build it yet. Then I save scene as, and I create a post-build scene. And I'm just going to call it post. And now I can build advanced face. It does this funky thing where it builds, and you just wait and watch it go through the motions. And it's exciting if it works, and it's stressful if it doesn't. But right now, everything's looking good. I'm seeing the lips get built, and everything's moving around. It's all positive. And there we go. It built her face, so now we can test it out. This is like the jaw. I'm going to, oh, look at that. It moves. She can open her mouth. Her teeth are following. Her tongue's following. Her tongue has controls. You can close her mouth a little. There she goes. Very cute. One thing with these controllers, these are the eyes. You can select them, and you can blink. And I like to test the blink because the blink is a tricky part, and I really like to make sure that it works right. So I'm going to set a keyframe here by just S, and then move a little bit ahead. And then I noticed like 12 or 10 is a good full blink. Actually, I think 12 for me. And then I'm going to move back and open them up again. Okay, so if I go to the blink, this is not right. Something is off. And I find this to be like the number one problem I have with Advanced Skeleton. So to fix this, we need to go down to, I think, Build, Tweaks, Delta Mush, select eyelid area, click that, and then 0 weight selected. And that should close the eyes better. And I'm gonna just smooth her out so we can see better. And yeah, I do need to work on her eyelashes a little, but that's like more of a weighting issue than anything. But this gets the eyelids to blink properly, and that's great. So cool. She's got her body rig, and we can bend her in all cool different directions, and she's got her face rig. And one thing I didn't realize about Advanced Skeleton, but one of my friends told me, and I thought it was really cool, is that you can select this little smiley at the bottom, and it'll automatically create expressions on your character, which I laughed at, had the best time doing. They don't always come out great. Like, she looks a little ridiculous when she smiles and her happy, but it's still fun to do. We can make her angry, we can make her disgusted and angry. It's like a blend here. Really fun. So Advanced Skeleton is amazing. It's my favorite, and I like Rigify in Blender, but Advanced Skeleton is just so high quality. You can move her eyes. And yeah, that's basically it. Oh, and her hands. If you select this outer shell here, you can like curl her fists and give her like different hand motions. Or you can just move them manually. And one last thing, I'm really going off. I love it. If you click these little body things, you get this prompt where you can select parts of her rig just from this alone, which can be really helpful if you're having trouble like grabbing things. You can get her spine, you see it selected, and then I can rotate it that way. I find this to be extra useful with the face. This is the face version. here you go. You've got the whole face. You can select the tongue, which is hard to get to. So if I want to do something with the tongue, I can actually maybe rotate it from there. Oops. Maybe here. Oh. Well, the tongue is malfunctioning at the moment. But that's okay. We will figure that out. It probably is a weighting issue, and that's something that you can fix yourself using the skin and then paint skin weights. And you can see that, like, if you need to change anything specifically, it's typical, like just your normal weighting of things. I'd probably weight her entire tongue geometry to the bones of the tongue themselves. It doesn't always come out perfect, and it's kind of good we ran into that issue because that's just something else we'll need to do. But I'm not going to go over it in this video because it'll take some time, and this, we've already probably made quite a long video. What else? Advanced skeleton. Oh, one last thing that I found was great about advanced skeleton is if I move her around, like say I have her in a weird position and it's like very complicated and I want her back to her original state, and I've got, her face I've got everything set up a certain way, and I'm like, oh, I want her back in her reset, like I don't even know where things are and she's all twisted. Go to your control windows here, go to pose, reset. That puts her body in its reset. And then on the face, pose, reset, and she's back to where you started. So that'll bring her back to her T-pose or whatever initial pose she had. So that is it. I just got so animated talking about this. I love advanced skeleton, and I know I ran into some issues, but I think it's good to run into issues because that helps everybody solve problems. So I hope you guys love advanced skeleton as much as I do. And if you like my character, or you want to see me make a character, I make them in Nomad, and then I retop them in Cozy Blanket. So if you need to see me make something in Nomad or retop in Cozy Blanket, let me know, and I'd love to show you guys. And thank you.